We have some breaking news for you. Fans around the world are using hashtag Release the Snyder Cut as a pressing demand to see the full version of Justice
Yeah,
League.
and the day that happens, I'll be proposing to Jennifer Aniston. Well, Jen, what do you say? Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're reviewing the long-awaited Zack Snyder's Justice League. We are going to be discussing spoilers throughout, so to just give you some recap of the situation with this movie. It came out in 2017, originally under the name of Zack Snyder, who was working on it. It was supposed to be this giant epic. He then suffered a really horrible family tragedy with the loss of his daughter's life. He stepped away for obvious reasons. Joss Whedon stepped in to save the day, as we thought, and we ended up with this pretty god-awful 2 hours jumbled mess of clearly a bigger picture that we're only seeing 1/10 of. Now that Zack Snyder's, feeling better and back on his feet, well, after the fans asked for it, he has delivered a 4-hour-long cut of his movie as he intended it to be. And I think I just have to start by saying it's a massive improvement to story, to the character development, the action, your investment as an audience, the team building. It is improved in every single aspect. It's so interesting seeing what's new and what's different and what director did what. It's quite interesting to see that a lot of the stuff that was crap and not great from the original actually was a lot of Joss Whedon's stuff, who at the time was credited for fixing this project. It doesn't seem to be that way at all. It was Joss Whedon who decided to have really bad jokes, poor chemistry between the team, a lack of urgency, or, almost like, actually, I don't know if urgency is the word, but they're only coming together because they have to. It didn't feel like they actually wanted to, or that they actually had personality or a say in the matter. This time they do. They do have personality, they do have character, and they do feel like they're coming together because they want to, because it's coming from within themselves to do this, not just because we have a 2-hour movie to fulfill. Everyone gets a chance to shine, even in the action. Nobody is left to the sidelines just pushing a car or dialogue dropping. Everyone gets to use their powers, their abilities, their skill set, and it is shown to you creatively, and it works in the unit that is the Justice League. Cyborg was given so much more depth. I really care about Cyborg as a character now, and I'm actually partially intrigued to see what sort of spin-offs you could do with this character. There's a whole world there that is definitely worth exploring that is just touched upon here. I was never crazy about Ezra Miller being the Flash. I never was, even in 2017. I still don't love him, if I'm being honest. He's just a little over the top at times. I think he grows into the role as the film goes on, and they find a use for him. His intro is atrocious, and I will get to that. There are some parts of this film, it's not perfect. Superman is done better. The CGI moustache is nowhere to be seen. Things like seeing him in the black suit, I went back to being a 12-year-old, giddy in my seat going, Steppenwolf, the villain. Wow. Someone got to glow up. He was useless in the 2017 version. He wasn't threatening. You didn't care about him. He didn't even look real. He looked like a video game boss. Just lack of menace. He isn't big. He just looked like a dude with a helmet on. And it was just like, wow, that's intimidating.
I'm in danger.
Here, he is intimidating. You feel his strength, his size, his power, his passion, his belief. You understand him as well in the sense that he's trying to get back into the good graces of Darkseid, who is a character we will come to later. It's really reassuring as a cinema lover to know that there are still directors out there and filmmakers out there that do give a shit about the material and they want to deliver it to you. Zack Snyder you have done nothing but gain my praise. I may not be your biggest fan. I stand by my belief that your movies can quite often be style over substance. Not necessarily in a bad way. I sometimes like the style. But this whole project here... But as I said prior, it isn't perfect. There are still some unnecessary scenes and moments here. Things like the Flash's introduction, I just don't think any of that worked, to be honest with you. It doesn't go anywhere, it never comes back around, and it's just so poorly executed as well. It's quite sloppy, his introduction. There's scenes with Lois Lane and Martha. It didn't really give you anything, and it reveals that Martian Manhunter is going to be in the movie, but it's such a bad reveal. I feel like it would have hit home much more just seeing Martian Manhunter right at the very end of the movie when he comes by to see Batman. I think that would have, if that was in cinemas, I can almost hear fans going at that scene if they had done it that way. It does have far too many endings as well. It doesn't necessarily know when to call it a day. It seems to sort of wrap it up for this character, and then the ending for the next character, and the ending for the next character, and so on and so forth until we've got through all of the characters. There is definitely a tighter, leaner version of this 4-hour cut. Boil it down to maybe 3.5 hours and it would be much tighter, much leaner, more in the pocket, and slightly more focused. But when you're arguing with that sort of difference, sometimes you might as well just go the whole hog. What's the difference in 30 minutes, you know? There's a lot of exposition as well, but actually I can forgive the movie for that. For a 4-hour long project that's obviously playing catch up to sort of build some sort of universe at the drop of a hat, it's easier to just give the audience a 5-minute, hold up everyone, here's what's going on, continue, than just, you know, walking around the problem and leaving your audiences alienated. I also don't love the 4:3 aspect ratio. I'm a big believer in the fact that we're paying £700 for these enormous curved 3D TVs. If we're paying that much, then fill the damn screen. I don't know why you want to just box me into here. I don't really like that myself, but each to their own. Darkseid, he's a little disappointing. He looks fantastic, don't get me wrong, I love the design. He lacks the arrogance, though. The Darkseid I know is cocky to a fault, but that's what I like about him, and here he's just sinister bad guy who's doing bad stuff because he's bad. You don't really relate to him, you don't really get what he wants or why he wants it. You're more connected to Steppenwolf because there's at least a pinch of humanity to that character. But Darkseid does shine in the action. Seeing his laser eyes, it was cool. The battle with the Amazonians, that was incredible. Some of the shots, superb.
That's a 10.
The epilogue, it actually intrigued me. I know it turned a lot of people off, but I kind of enjoyed it, actually. It was like a peek inside of Zack Snyder's head. We do have to talk about it. First impression of Jared Leto's Joker? Bear with me. Yeah, that guy needs to wipe his lips. I don't know what's gone on with his makeup. He looks like some sort of Texas Chainsaw version of the Joker. I just don't get why this guy does not get the character. I see this as nothing but a massive win for cinema and cinema lovers everywhere. What this film says is that your opinion matters, and perhaps you do know what you're talking about and don't need Hollywood to spoon-feed you. It opens so many doors. This film probably wouldn't work in cinemas as a 4-hour epic. It worked at home where you can pause it and take a break and step away and watch it in your own pace. That opens the door to so many other projects to follow in that footprint. And on top of that, the human story behind this. Zack Snyder and the trouble he has gone through, not as just a person, as a family, and to come back, stand tall, push his chest up, and finish his project, and see his vision through the way he saw it, you have my respect, sir. I'm going to give Zack Snyder's Justice League an 8 out of 10. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Granted, you will probably have to be a fan of the franchise to really get something out of this. As long as it was better than what we got, I was going to be happy. I can gladly say it's miles better than what we got in 2017. Thanks for watching this review. If you could leave a like, comment and subscribe, let me know what you thought of the film, and I'll see you on the next one.